Hello friends, and thank you for supporting this cleaning for free. I am having a little bit of a cold, so that's what you're hearing if you think my voice sounds a bit weird, but I still wanted to do this voiceover because this room needs a little bit of explanation. This wasn't really a cleaning for free, but it was more organizing for free. And it was also a very unexpected job, but I will explain you about that later. Right now, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the residents. Let's call the couple Tyler and Jessica. When Tyler was a kid, he and his family survived a fire that burned down the house completely. Nothing was left of their possessions, and because of this trauma, Tyler developed a hoarding disorder. When Tyler and Jessica moved in together, Jessica knew that Tyler had a fascination for anything that had a cord, and also that he liked to take to pieces and repair anything from a radio to a computer to a bike, and she even fell a little bit in love with his nerdiness. Since the apartment had 3 bedrooms, Jessica said that Tyler could have one room just for his hobby. But it didn't take very long until this hobby got out of hand, and soon a second bedroom was filled with all of Tyler's stuff. Fast forward 10 years and not just 2 bedrooms, but also the living room, their own bedroom, and the hallway were filled with all kind of cords, electric devices, screws, anything you can think of. Suddenly, at the end of 2023, a letter fell on Jessica's and Tyler's doormat. It was a letter from the housing association that announced that the whole apartment complex was about to be renovated. This huge project required every resident to leave his or her house for at least a year. On top of this, the letter also said that Tyler and Jessica had to take most of their stuff with them, and the apartment needed to be empty for the larger part. At this point, Jessica knew she had to be a little harder on Tyler, and she encouraged him to organize his stuff. She also forbade him to bring any new stuff into the house. Organizing was hard for Tyler, and when he started doing it, he became overwhelmed really quickly. Weeks and months went by with hardly any progress. About 2 months before the apartment needed to be broom clean, the couple got into panic mode. There was just so much stuff that they couldn't do it by themselves. Some very close friends who knew about the situation stepped in to help Tyler and Jessica. They were afraid to ask any other people for help because they were ashamed of their situation. The apartment wasn't just a big mess, it was also very dirty. Jessica told me that besides Tyler's hoarding disorder, she also had mental issues, and that was why she didn't clean the apartment for years. About 1 week before they had to leave the apartment, I received a message from Jessica, who was in complete panic mode, and she asked me if I could please come and help her. Unfortunately, I was already fully booked for the weekend, so I couldn't come to her on Saturday. And on Wednesday, I had already planned a meeting with a TikToker, and her name is Yasmin, and I knew she likes cleaning as well. So I just asked Yasmin, hey, I have this very impulsive idea. I really want to help Jessica, who needs to be out of her apartment next Monday, and I cannot go to her apartment on Saturday, so would you be willing to go with me and just clean over there? It turned out that Yasmin is as crazy as I am, because that Tuesday evening we decided to go to Jessica's apartment next day. Now you won't see Yasmin in this video because she was deep cleaning the bathroom as I was organizing this bedroom. I think this was such a special but crazy last minute decision, and I loved it. Also because it was something different again. I have never done an organizing job that looked like this. So for me, a little bit of a challenge is always more fun. By the way, I also want to warm you up for the cleanings that are still coming up, because I've received quite some requests. I think I receive about 10 requests a week, and some of them are pretty extreme, if I may say so. And without giving away too much, I am telling you that I do like extreme cleanings, and some of them are pretty unique, and I do have to gear up myself for those. So stay tuned for those videos. What you see me doing right now is that I'm trying to sort out the trash from anything that they wanted to keep. As you can see, I'm putting all the cables into one box, and you can also see some cigarettes over there, and those were obviously trash. Some things that I also put into the trash were things like screws and pens, anything that was there in a large amount, and the couple could buy those again for just a couple of bucks. Some of the stuff that I organized and put into boxes were tools, homemade crafts, and some coins. It kind of felt like a difficult puzzle to me since I have no technical intellect, so for me it was kind of a memory, so I was looking for stuff that looked like other stuff and I put that together. The more stuff I picked up from the floor, the more I could see that the floor was indeed very dirty. The couple did own 2 cats and 5 rats. Later in this video, when I'll start sweeping the floor, you will see how much dust and filth actually had been built up in that carpet over the years. Don't you just love these soft, tingly sorting sounds? This really reminds me of when I was a kid and my grandma had this little container with a lot of buttons in it. And she kept all these buttons just in case for when a button would fall off a shirt and it would get lost. And then she would always have a button that looked like the other buttons. And I just remember that I loved sorting out all those buttons by color, by size, and by amount. It was just a really mindful thing to do. I think in these days we hardly allow ourselves just to do these simple and dull tasks, just to shut down our mind for a second and just be. Things like this really help us to relax our mind. And I think I've read this in a book that was written by a psychologist, but I can't remember what book it was. But the book said that sleeping is not the same as relaxing. And so this book emphasized that sometimes you should try to do things that initially feel like boring things, such as go for a walk in silence or do a puzzle, because those things are actually really helpful to calm down this constant stream of thoughts. Sometimes this idea pops in my head that I really would like to read a certain chapter from a book during this voiceover, just because it helps me remembering what life is really about and how important relaxation and mindfulness are. So if you could let me know in the comments if you think this is a good idea, and maybe you also have some book titles you want to recommend on these topics. Or we could do one chapter a video so that we will be reading a book together. In my opinion, this sounds pretty amazing, but I would love to hear what you guys think. You would almost think that I'm positioning myself in front of the camera this way on purpose, but I wasn't. I just forgot to put my camera in a better spot. What I'm not telling you guys is that I'm secretly making my butt my trademark, and so I'm forcing you all to just look at it. Wow, this just sounded so weird. And even more because my voice is so cracky. Het is weer lekker warm, jongens. Woe!
lekker. Ja, helemaal. Echt lekker. Top. Zo. Alleen sommige dagen zitten vast aan het bed, dus ik vraag zo wel even wat voor je moet.
Oh my god.
Ja, en dan zou er eigenlijk nog een heel nieuw tapijt in moeten.
Ja,
een
en
nieuwe
op zich,
aan de muren. Want dat, als je hier terugkomt heb je nog een hele taak hoor.
Ja, echt. Ja, tuurlijk.
Dat is niet easy. Wil je nog een tablet? Ik heb er inmiddels denk ik zo'n 6
echt?
Wow, 6 tablets. Een chageraar, zo kun je het wel noemen.
Ja.
Een chageraar.
As I told you in the beginning of this video, the apartment was required to be broom clean, so that's what it is. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support, for commenting and liking. Please let me know what you think of the idea to read a book together, so like a chapter a video or something. And I hope to see you next time. Bye bye. Oh, my voice, my poor voice.